Welcome to another DIY tutorial video. So in this video, I will be teaching you guys how to turn your Samba Vegan into a Samba OG just by painting the Samba Vegan's toe box. Initially, my plan was to use a Suede Dye to paint the toe box of my Samba Vegan, but for some reason, the dye itself wasn't dyeing the toe box as it should. I was not sure if it's because of the material of the toe box of the Samba Vegan or if I bought the wrong type of dye. But anyway, just follow along so you would not have to make or repeat the same mistake as I did. So first and foremost, the materials that you will be needing for this tutorial are a toothbrush, a masking tape, a suede dye, a dauber, a pair of latex gloves, and of course, the Samba Vegans itself. Initially, these are the only things that I thought I would be needing prior to me knowing that the dye itself was not going to work as expected. So yes, an additional material that you will be needing is a Sharpie or two, depending on the number of coats that you will be applying to the toe box of your Samba Vegan. So the first step is brush the toe box of the shoe to remove any artifacts. I also wiped it with a cleaning wipe just to make sure that it is free of dirt and let it dry for a few minutes. Second step is applying the masking tape around the toe box. If you can maneuver without the tape, then you don't really need to apply the masking tape. I did this because I want to make sure that I wouldn't stain the parts of the shoe that I did not want to be painted. So the third step is applying the suede dye. You might be wondering why am I still even including this step even though I mentioned from the get-go that this did not work. I am including this step to show you guys the right way of actually painting the toe box or actually painting a shoe using a dye or a paint. So really my issue was I got the wrong type of dye, hence the reason why the toe box wasn't really holding the paint. So ideally, if everything worked out, I would not have to use a Sharpie, but that was not the case. So get the dauber and dip it into the dye and apply gently around the toe box of the shoe. Once you have dyed the toe box, let it dry and then apply another coat. So after like 7 to 8 coats of dye, this is how it looked like. The toe box's color did not even look black. If anything, it looked like a slate gray or ash. For comparison, this is the color of the toe box before it was painted. So at this point, I figured I could try a Sharpie because the dye itself is really not holding up. And this is how it turned out after maybe applying 2 to 3 coats of Sharpie. And after drying the paint from the Sharpie, I applied another coat of the suede dye on top of the Sharpie paint. And I think after applying the dye on top of the Sharpie paint, the dye has permeated the toe box and it was holding the darker color. So this is how it turned out after the process. So the $1 million question is, can you get away with just using the Sharpie? I think yes, but you might have to do more than just 2 to 3 coats of Sharpie. I say more than 2 to 3 coats because the toe box is like a light beige or light tan color, and it will take more coat of paint to turn that into black. And in my case, the toe box of my shoe is already partially black, like grayish or ash like I mentioned, and this was due to my initial dyeing of the shoe, hence why it only took 2 to 3 coats of Sharpie paint. Also, I want to add that I do not think I would have needed the Sharpie if I bought the right type of dye. I think I should have just bought the Angelus paint instead, which I was looking at, but I ended up with this one. But it's okay as the shoe ended up looking the way I wanted anyway. So there you guys have it for this almost failed tutorial. I hope you guys did learn something out of my mistakes, and I also hope that you guys did enjoy this video as much as I did. And until next time, stay safe, stay fitted, peace.